Celebrity Book Club. Who's that knocking at the door? It's all your friends, you filthy whore. Your husband's gone and we've got books and a bottle of wine to kill.
It's Hollywood.
It's books.
It's gossip.
I'm shook.
It's memoirs.
It's martinis.
It's Studio 54.
It's Celebrity Book Club.
Come read it while it's hot.
Celebrity Book Club.
Tell your secrets, we won't talk.
Celebrity Book Club.
No boys are allowed.
Celebrity Book Club.
Say it loud and proud.
Celebrity Book Club.
That's me, and I brought the Cuervo.
So I brought Graham Norton's wine. Yes. For us to try it.
It's kind of naff, but why not?
No,
right?
we're naff.
That's a word that I recently learned that I will be using constantly tonight. Incorrectly or correctly. But it seems like you can't ever use it incorrectly. It's like anything you say is naff, it's naff.
Stephen's gone full Madonna.
I can't be stopped. It's
like
actually insane. I don't even know if I'm talking in a British accent or not. It's like and then I'm kind of doing this thing where I'm just like...
And then it's half, and then everyone's kind of like looking at you like, have you gone mad?
I think what I'm doing is like I'm adding like far too many words to my vocabulary, darling, because it's like...
No, I mean, there's enough. There's safe. You said a phrase called like polyrolly today or something. You were like, oh, the polyrolly is around.
No, I said hoi polloi, darling.
Hoi play.
Yes, it was sort of your people.
So this is my first time in England. I said I would visit every state in the United States of America before I came over here, but because I just want to check out every single city in our great country.
Right.
But
Ultimately,
I got
sidetracked.
seduced by my forefathers. So I came over here, but because we're from New England, so I had to see, where we really came from. It's because it was crazy. I was seeing the map. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah,
I know all these cities.
You were like, wait, I thought we started all these, and it's actually like, no.
No, they started it. But then I'm like...
And that's the whole new part of New England. You're like, oh, right.
And then I'm reading all of them in a Boston accent, and I'm like, do they know what our same cities are? And it's just like Brighton, Gloucester, like
Lowell,
New Bedford, Quincy.
Because I feel like all your versions, like you
Brighton.
go to Bedford or something in Brighton, everyone's like, oh, it's right posh, mate. Like, is that wrong? Okay. Silence. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Yeah. And where we're from, New Bedford's a whaling town, an old whaling town. People.
Currently, it's a lot of whaling going on. To this day.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know, I come from a long line of whalers.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why you're such a water bug.
Yeah, no, I'm trying a new person. I'm going to swim in your river. I was going to try that.
Can I say this, not to be rude, but I came in on the plane, as one does, and I looked out the window. The river looked quite brown. Is that new? Is it always like that? Or is it just...
Where we're from, we have a thing called the Dirty River, the Charles River.
The Charles River is really fucking dirty, called dirty water.
Dirty water.
But, it's... I mean, I wouldn't go swimming in there.
I would never
go
swimming in
Giardia or something.
I would put maybe my enemy, if I was Kate, I would have put Megan in there, something like that.
Oh, shit, the gauntlet's thrown down.
Yeah. I don't know, are you guys so over, like, Kate and Megan stuff? I can't tell.
Again, absolute silence coming from around.
Everyone's just like,
I feel like it's this thing where, like, America, we're always like, Harry and Meghan, Kate, and like, we're so obsessed, and you guys are like, we absolutely don't care. Well, that's the thing about the Queen, and like, not to pry about your culture. Well, I mean, whatever, but it's
Let's pry. We're gonna pry.
It is a little bit just like, we're still, it kind of feels like the Queen, like, wasn't she kind of the last one? Isn't it a little bit like...
No.
Isn't it a little bit like, we got it, but it was kind of like, it feels like it's over. Like, she was hardcore the last, so we're like, we're really gonna do the...
Again?
King? It's like, babe, come on.
Because I feel like Kim is our queen. Yeah. Seems that's the same, right?
Yeah. No, right.
Well,
fucking capitalism, right?
Sorry.
We fucking worship her because she's
Whatever. She's also a barrister. Like, she's in
she
law
is
school.
a barrister. She's in law school.
She's in barrister school.
But Charles has been a little bit just like, you know what I mean? It's 9 a.m. and like, everyone's going to bed, and he's getting out like another line of coke, and you're like, babe, everyone's going to bed. It's kind of over.
So we have a huge surprise for you guys.
Yeah.
We have one of the funniest women in the entire world.
Yes, and also one of the funniest women in London.
In London.
She lives here. She is also American. Because it's the invasion, darling. It's the reverse 60s. We're coming back. Sorry, we owe you one. You know what I mean?
She's the host of the Michelle Collins Show. She's a former host of The View, but she's too funny for them. And
Oh, we are.
yeah, she's our idol. Michelle Collins, will you come up?
Yeah, just sit in the audience if you will.
Yeah, sorry. No, I know, you're super classy.
Oh, wow.
Did Zoe leave that huge wet spot on
How
this girl?
excited did you get up here?
No, clean up on Idol Bill Murray.
Bill Murray's flooded.
Now, when you said huge surprise, is it because I'm in a heel? Be honest, because I feel massive tonight.
So they
Towering surprise.
Tell us about
Tower of London over here.
Tell us about your outfit while I pour us and we review Graham Norton's wine GN. It's a rosé. It's made by the same people that make Sarah Jessica Parker's wine.
Oh, then you know it's good.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, I would rather choke than say anything negative about Graham Norton, so I'm gonna dumb it up. I don't care.
Yes.
You'll see it in my face, but I don't care. I adore him. So, and also,
People are in the room.
you know what I like to do? Say it with me. Work in this town.
Yes.
Say it with me. Work in this town. So I'm not saying shit about this wine girl. Can we get her a mic? She seems fun. Thank you.
So
Hi.
Graham does run the industry with an iron fist.
Yeah.
Tiny little iron fist. That can
He's the best
occasionally be
there is.
found in the arsehole of a man. Am I right? Sorry, thank
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
Cheers. Thank you so much for coming. I will say Sarah Jessica Parker's wine is disgusting, so I have expectations for this that are on the floor. Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay, no.
That is legitimately the tastiest wine I have ever. I've never had better wine in my life. Sorry to that whispering. It's a screaming angel. It's not whispering, honey. It's loud and it's proud.
And then like holla on the nose, like kind of a full bread.
I'm getting like a key lime cheesecake.
Yeah, I get the key
little
lime
bit.
for sure.
Sweet. How I like it.
Okay.
Like, Grand's on her way over. Get
Okay.
up, put up
Again,
the pie.
I want to follow your example,
Yeah.
but I was taught not to lie.
I'm not lying.
And at the end, the finish is a little diaper.
Yeah.
Diaper, you said?
Yeah. So the finish is at the changing table. I like that. It started out kind of fun, and there was a little bit of that roasted cherry flavor that I think we all look for in a rosé. And then
I was with you at the first. I was like, I'm actually tannins. It's dry. It's a peppermint field. That is exists.
Yes.
I'm sure it exists here. British Bake Off stuff.
Peppermint
No? Okay.
Fields.
Peppermint Fields.
So many fields here.
Miss
Forgot it.
Piggleworth's Peppermint Fields.
Yeah.
And like
We're in field
school
country.
for girls.
yeah, I'm not quite there. I do feel like me wife is like has gone to bed and I'm like, now I have to change the kid.
Which you should finally.
Yeah, for once.
I like the color. I think it's watermelony and fun. And I feel like we're being very hard on this brilliant
those Chinese
genius.
lanterns up there. It's a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Raise the red lantern. And to Graham, everyone.
And to
Cheers.
Graham. To Graham.
Fun in here. I feel like I'm on a
The
ship.
fairy godfather of London comedy. What
Yeah,
a hilarious and handsome man with a huge cock.
Now, Michelle, tell us about your outfit, your boots, the
That's
dress.
nice.
Let's
okay,
go.
I'll tell you everything. Well, this is a good test because this is quite a hip crowd, and I'm going to say a place that raise your hand if you've been there. I got the boots at Bister Village. Raise your hand. Who here? It's the outlet. That motherfucker. Her. Yes, of course. Bister.
Not
That she's very
Bister.
classy in the
Bister.
magenta. The magenta screams Bister. Look how classy. What are you doing here? Oh my goodness, she's so classy. Bister is the designer outlet mall for. It's really a village for those who don't know. And you
I
leave
want to
from.
move already.
Oh,
to
you
Bister.
would literal shit, and their bathrooms are nice. Like American
How did you
outlet
know that
toilets.
That's what we care about.
It's just gonna shit all over herself.
Yeah.
The bathrooms there are so clean. They have a prayer room. I always go in. I always pop in. Can't be
Pray
too
for the
careful
deals.
these
Yeah,
days.
pray for a discount, darling. 30 quid off. 30 quid off.
Please.
It's a little synagogue, and I am Jewish. Don't say anything. Okay. nail biter these days, you have to say it. Otherwise, it's like, oh, Kanye. Hello. All right. Anyway, so these are Stuart Weitzman from Bicester. I am a size
hello.
UK 9. Shout out. Anyone? Yes, I knew I liked you.
Any nines in the room?
Any nines in the room? If I were a man, I'd have an average size penis. That's what I like to say. So it's not as exciting as it sounds. And then the dress is Essential Antwerp, purchased also at an Amsterdam outlet.
Okay. Outlets rise up. We love the outlets.
Okay, yeah, outlet culture.
They were both
Why pay
expensive.
more? I don't need to go to High Street. I go to Medium Street. The outlets.
So that's the look. What's with you?
Well, so speaking of UK 9, I have a bit of foot dysmorphia personally. These are my cool punk shoes that I got literally specifically to come to England.
Do they show the crowd?
Yeah.
No one can see their quite well.
Okay.
This isn't when you willing to put on a shoe cam. Look at the flexibility. 7 years of gymnastics. Can you believe it? Yeah.
I'm also having my little Madonna moment, but a little more Joe Strummer moment. I'm in my Fred Perry, and also, I feel like we're like in full costumes. If it's like someone came to the U.S. and they were like cowboy hats, a Yankees sweatshirt, just like so confused.
Cargo
like
pants, like wraparound sunglasses, just like 6 different cultures.
Coming to America.
yeah,
Nest
driving
jacket.
in a Chevy, but
Yeah.
like also having like a Prius backpack. And we're like,
That would fit me. A little Yaris. Has anyone driven a Toyota Yaris in this room? I don't know the
Yaris heads in the
references.
room.
Any
Okay.
Yaris heads?
Great car.
Yaris. I know a
Great
lesbian
car.
couple that bought a Yaris and then broke up. The curse of Yaris.
Was it because one of them fell through the floor? It's like the cheapest car in the world. It's
small
like a
car.
Flintstones car. Anyway.
Yeah.
Wait, the shoes foot dysmorphia.
So, okay, I ordered a 9.5 men's, came too big. I ordered a 9 men's, it came too big.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm a men's dick 13 inches.
It's like at a certain point, really, like you do have a shoe size,
Yeah, like-
and it doesn't change. It's not like you're always getting pregnant. It's like it's not going up and down. Like it's just the size that it is.
No, and then I finally was like, okay. 8.5. These are an 8.5.
They look
They're
big.
And
Honestly, BDE on these shoes. Look at
right,
them.
major BDE.
They're huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Massive, darling.
I'm
Massive.
huge.
Be
I'm
massive.
huge.
So this gorgeous kilt, thank you so much. It is from a store called Got Kilt.
Is it? That's so dumb.
Quite literally, that I got at the Mall of America in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Just a week ago, I was like, you know what? Why not? I'm going to the British Isles. You know, let's show some respect for their culture.
Well, and I found out the Mall of America really does have everything.
Yeah, they
I
do.
guess.
Yeah, I
Kilt
mean,
stores, what else?
Sephora. I mean, it's kind of like they basically have all the regular stores. It's actually not that impressive.
But like
It's
10
just-
of them. I was there years ago.
Yes.
So it's huge, and you're like, especially for me, a junkie, I'm like, I love it here. And then you walk, and it's like, you walk and there's 9 magnet stores, there's 9 Sephoras,
There's
and after
9
it
H&Ms.
sucks.
It's just
You're
like-
like,
it's
what
just
is
like-
this?
it's
Just
more-
big.
Where's the diversity?
No.
You know?
It's
What
just like
happened to
more
the
malls.
mom and
There's
pop
no-
shops
there's
in
nothing
Mall of
special
America?
about it.
It's like an LA person. It's just empty. You think it's gonna be? I don't know what I'm saying. This isn't being released,
Yeah,
right?
fuck LA.
It's a long day.
Fuck
Hi, in the back.
LA.
Fuck LA is right.
See, the London-LA rivalry is so storied. You know what I
Everyone's
mean?
always like LA versus London, LA versus London.
You
Okay,
guys love to hate on those
Michelle,
idiots.
can we tell you about the first time we saw you live?
Oh my
Which you
God.
don't know. Okay,
I don't know.
Okay, so the reason, so you actually are a much bigger part of our
Yeah.
city than you realize.
You're like
actually
the
about to get
blueprint
freaked
for
out
our
and-
personalities.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be like your stalker is scary.
The glass shatters. Go on.
We were, just 22 at a comedy show in the East Village in New York City.
Yeah, so it was actually 3 years ago.
Yeah, no, we were just little things.
It
Now
was
we're
1971.
24. And you were co-hosting this comedy show, and you ordered. Someone said, "Michelle, what do you want to drink?" And you ordered on mic a Diet Coke and Stoli vodka.
But you said, can I get a DC and Stoli?
And
And
that has defined our personality.
Lily and I have been saying DC and Stoli to each other for the past 15
Yeah,
years.
I kid you not.
And nothing makes us laugh more, and we've never loved
That
anyone
DC
more
and
than you
Stoli,
ordering
yes.
saying DC and Stoli.
By the way, I thought like I was about to be so overwhelmed with my genius. I was like, and what did I say?
You're like, "Say it again."
Hit me with it. Well, you know what's funny, and I'm going to say something again quite controversial, is that nowadays everyone abbreviates. It became like a thing, and like this, it's been done to death. Yeah. I'm going to argue that I was one of the first abbreviators.
Yes.
By the way, that's real.
Network credits too.
I mean, proof. I will tell you, it was probably 2010.
Yeah.
No, and even but when I was blogging, yes. Do I own a home? I don't. But see you at Bister. But I will say, I was abbreviating long before, and then you know what bothers me, if I may say, and it's like you're really interviewing Einstein right now with copycats. But then people try to do it, and they're bad at it.
Yes,
and it's like, I don't do it anymore, because I'm obviously an original, but I see people go for it, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. You're not even doing it right.
No.
Like,
Michelle, DC, and Stoli Collins.
I thought you were going to tell them that we went out last night.
Oh, we did go out last night. It was literally crazy.
And you'll hear about that on the VIP lounge.
And it seems like you're not in your DC and Stoli era.
I haven't had, honestly, you saying it made me feel sick. I was like, I was that trashy. No, now I do like vodka martinis with a twist and
classy. Bistro
and
stuff.
Simply only Graham Norton's rosé.
Graham Norton's rosé. What are we gonna check? No, it's on your rider. You won't do a gig if they don't have.
I'm going to my home. It's bottle after bottle of Graham Norton's also the name just GN, just initials.
No, I know. They really put their heads together on that one. We thought
And
about
again,
that
they're
for a while.
geniuses over there.
We love.
Yeah, we love. Graham Norton.
Is J.K. Rowling here?
Yeah. J.K.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Michelle, listen.
Can I say, I love you. Thank you for
I love
having
you.
me.
More than anything. Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Collins.
Vice First of all, DC and Stoli.
Please listen to her podcast. Listen to her radio show.
Follow her, Michelle Collins.
Midnight snack.
She'll be at the Amsterdam Lacoste outlet next Wednesday, 8 a.m. in line.
She's signing tennis dresses.
Celebrity Book Club.
Hey, best friend.
Hey,
Yeah,
best friend. How are you?
Literally, I guess okay. Still a little jet lag, but working through it.
Yeah,
you know?
it's been really rough.
Okay, so this is not to be so crazy, but I guess we did read a book. Okay.
We read a book.
Yeah,
Not to
we
be
read a
so
book,
random, but we
yeah.
read a book.
And I guess we should talk.
Should we talk about the book?
I know we should probably talk about the book.
Well, let's talk about the book.
Okay, fine. We'll talk about the book. Okay, if you want to pull up the slide.
Yeah, so we read a book.
We read a
specifically
book
for you guys.
Okay.
We just thought we wanted to honor your culture.
Honor the culture.
Yeah.
You know her from Harry Potter 4. You know her from The Graham Norton Show. You know her from Romeo and Juliet.
You know her from her decades of work on the stage.
Oh, her
in the East
BAFTA.
End, in the West End. You know her as being a lesbian.
Yes. Or she says a short, fat Jewish lesbian.
Yes.
Yeah.
A short fat Jewish lesbian. She's wonderful. Of course, we're like by Miriam Margolyes.
Give it up.
Yeah, give it up
how
for
do you say it?
Miriam.
Margolyes? Margolyes.
So I'm just gonna grab all the books here.
Grab the notes.
Okay.
This book was epic, I'll say it.
This book is
How many
iconic.
people have read this book?
Science.
One person.
No, you know what's so
Obsessed.
cool is that
Yes.
you guys don't have to read
You don't
it
have to
more
read it
because
'cause
we do it for you.
We did it for you. Truly.
You outsource your labor to us.
Us, okay? The emotional labor of reading a 600-body British book. to
Yes,
us.
a 600-page book can be quite a bit to get through. I will say no. The audiobook is an absolute gas.
It's a real gas, and we're just gonna settle in here.
It's actually too funny, and then you like can't even focus.
No,
because she's like going on, and she was like, "Well, of course," and then I sucked him off because I had to. And then she's doing this insanely British thing where
Wait, are you gonna talk about when she thanks every friend at the end of a chapter?
Oh, well, she's constantly thanking people and just being like, and they remain a good friend to this day, and they died.
Or she'll be
Everyone
like,
is dead but a good friend for 90 years.
or she'll be like, and I've always resented John Cleese, and we haven't spoken in 59 years. I wish him the best. Question mark. Yeah, I mean, just to start things off, so I guess, the Monty Python boys did not treat her well. It was very boys' club.
Yeah, well, back then, I mean, it was quite hard to be a woman in the scene. But I do feel like maybe Eric Idle and her like are good are friends in a bit of a way because she was like in some of the projects with him.
Eric Idle,
Not to be
and
like,
then
such a historian, but
and
like.
then one other guy named Steve or something, and I told my mom this, and I was like, I'm reading this book, and she says John Cleese was mean to her. My mom got pretty upset. She was like, do you remember? And I rented the VHSs of Faulty Towers, and we would watch them. And I was like, okay, now I've triggered something for you.
No, you can't bring that up to boomers. I mean, my mother too. Like, if you said a single disparaging word about the Beatles or like, Monty Python, she would just be like,
gone.
Stephen, no. First of all, let's talk about this cover. This face.
I mean, she has the best face I've ever seen. Like, oh, by the way, I mean, the book is called "This Much Is True," which is so this face. She's like, well, this much is true.
In Mary Judi Dench's book that's called "And Furthermore."
I'm also
the eyebrows always raised. You know what I mean?
And she has a little more of this like lesbian smirk. That's like, this much is true. I'm also like relieved. I feel like the past 9 books we've read have been just called My Story.
No, it's great to put a little bit more effort into the title.
A little bit more.
We just read Helen Keller's book, and God bless her, but
God bless
it's
her.
called My Story, and I'm a little bit like, Helen.
We know. Okay, start things off. She's a Scot, okay? Her parents grow up. Her mother cleans in the nude for once. And she's like, and my father was, my mother wasn't in love with my father growing up, and that happens. And my mother just always cleaned in the nude, and that's how it was. And I would climb into bed with her, and I would rub up against her big Jewish bosom.
Bro, it's crazy the way that she describes breasts in this book. I mean, she is lesbian, but she is like, she's like, Mummy had massive breasts. And I would watch her clean them, and she would lift up her big flappy mammaries and wash underneath her. And then I'd go to bed with her, and I loved burying my face into those soft, ample bosoms.
No, her mom's boobs did kind of remind me, not to be weird, of my Nona's breasts. Okay. I would say my grandmother.
This is the part where it is nurture, not nature.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When Nona has titties,
I never
gonna be
got.
gay.
We didn't like get into bed with each other, but I'm just saying, like, she had an F, and she.
Wait, do you guys have the same like breast sizing and? Okay, cool.
Okay.
Just want to be like conscious of.
Conscious. We're sitting and we're listening. Okay.
We're here to listen.
But she still is a little bit ashamed of her body, even though her mother,
Well, she kind of attributes that to her mother because her mother is always just being like, well, you are a bit fat.
Right. Even though she's cleaning nude. She finds out she's a lesbian, shall I say it, by just walking by her teacher's home. And she just has an orgasm.
So her first orgasm, she's like 11 and she's in like Clapham or whatever. Yeah. Also, I mean, it's like the book is in Oxford and it's like, I know, it's very funny to me, it's probably not funny to you guys, but like every page is just like, and then we took a left on Claphamshire, and then we went down Coxwoggles Road, and then just behind Coxwoggles was just like Devonshire like Middington, like Paddington Way.
Everything is Paddington Way.
It's like there's just so many little descriptions, and she also like feels the need to tell you like everyone's fourth cousins, like second wife's, like dead,
which is
mothers, like disease.
Well, she was like, well, and she died of dysentery, but then her third cousin had a bout of diarrhea.
When she's like, my mother's furrier's wife had MS. And then she's like, so I knew tragedy at a young age. And you're like, kind of. I don't know, babe.
Well, and not to brag, but have you ever been to a furrier?
No. I mean, my mother had many fur coats growing up. I have wonderful memories.
And you burrowed in the mink.
Burrowing in the mink.
And your mother, I mean, she has quite a bosom too.
She has an ample bosom.
She has.
I've never sort of buried my face in it. But I do remember I would crawl into she had a mink, she had a raccoon and a nutria, which is a sort of a beaver-like creature from the south of America.
Why are all furs, it's always like not an actual animal, and it's always like their third cousin? It's like, oh no, this coat is made of like nutrimink.
Yeah,
it's a mink's son's cousin, and they made it with a fox and a rat, and that's what this fur is.
But wonderful memories of burrowing into mummy's minks. as a child. But yeah, so she's giving you like, I mean, half this book is like an insanely extended family tree. But you know, England has history. You guys, you love your history,
Yeah, and I
that's
love
so
the history.
beautiful.
So, you know, and she says she does give a few hand jobs here and there. Almost every other chapter, she's like, before she's with her partner of 54 years, of course, Heather, she's like, well, there was nothing to do, so I sucked him off. She's like getting on a ferry at some point and like misses the ferry, which is so me, and then like finds a rowboat, and then she's like, oh God.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I had to suck him off, and then he rowed me to Glasgow.
Okay,
and
so
then
but
that's
this,
how I got there.
well, wait, okay. Can I just
wanna
pull
read
that?
it?
Can I pull that section up quickly?
Please do.
So there's a lot about blowjobs in this book. She loves to give head.
I know. I think she
Head
sees it.
profusely for like several years.
So okay,
Before
I
she
feel like
becomes a lesbian, and she's just like, I give head to everyone in Oxford and everyone at Cambridge too. Like, I was quite good at it.
I feel like I disagree a little bit. I feel like her hand job is her little more of her lesbian passageway. You know, I feel like she's like, oh, I'll tug him off. That will do. And she has kind of
okay,
big
sorry.
hands.
If I may quote, I actually wrote the quote down.
Please, yeah.
It didn't matter whose penis was in my mouth. It was all grist to the mill. I mean, that is a quote. That is an incredible
Grist
quote.
to the mill. Okay, well, you
Honey,
find the passage.
I mean, she's speaking my language. You
So-
know what I mean? Then that.
This orgasm she has walking by her teacher's house.
Oh, this is insane.
Yeah, it's just her school, a female school teacher. And she said it was just the feeling of the passion. She was like, there was no friction. I didn't even see her. I just saw the house.
She walked by her teacher's house and then came, hands-free orgasm, walking by the house of a teacher.
I've tried to think of a house that would make me do that.
Well, you know what? This is also so
Like
lesbian
a
because she
really cool loft that like a hot teacher lived in, but I don't see her. But I'm just like, oh yeah, that's the
because that is what it
apartment.
would be for you. It would be
It would be a
fucking
loft.
badass downtown loft.
Downtown.
Exposed ductwork, huge brick wall,
Bricks.
retro posters,
Huge
framed.
islands, yeah, vintage Japanese movie posters.
Yeah, that would make you come.
What? Okay, your house.
That would just
It'd be like glass modern on the sea.
super modern, super cold. Onyx
Frigid.
countertops,
And it would be like
7 fridges.
a linguistics professor that lived there. Okay, sorry, we're getting too personal.
Actually,
okay.
I'm too wet.
Okay, read the passage.
Okay, but so this is the part where she's on this rowboat randomly trying to get to an island. There's a plane leaving.
A lot's happening.
It's a bit all over the place.
Travel's crazy.
Okay, so this guy agrees to like row her on this boat to where she needs to go. Then I saw that he'd taken his penis out of his dungarees and he was enthusiastically masturbating. I thought, blimey, what am I going to do? I don't want to get raped. Not on the sea.
Anywhere else but the sea, please.
Rape on the sea? That's a bridge too far. So I got up, went over to him, and tossed him off. He was fine after that. He calmed down. The penis was popped back into the dungarees, and then he rowed all the way across. When he finally arrived, he helped me up, and I asked him how much I owed. He smiled, "No charge, miss." Bless him, he was a gent. You know, and I just thought sometimes
Bless him.
we all
you
have
know?
to do that.
You know, Miriam, she gets her start, okay, doing voiceover on the stage, but she gets a job, and it's to be sexy Sonia for a sex tape. And, you know, and she goes and she's shocked by the script. And she's like, I have to do about 30 orgasms. And she's like, and you just, it's basically sounding you're so exhausted. So she does this tape, and then she walks into a sex tape shop, and she's like, "Hello, how's sexy Sonia doing?" And they're like, "Shh, shh, shh, shut up." And then because they don't want to place her with sexy Sonia, of course. So that's a lesson. If you do a sex tape, you know, let the sex tape live alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you know it's like no matter who you are, even if you're Claudia Schiffer, you might not be.
Separate the work. You
might not be what the person is fantasizing about. And so much of audio work is about the fantasy. And this is why I said, Lily, we can't do a live show.
And I said, no, let's show them.
Fantasy. These people have this idea of us. We may look like something completely different.
Oh yeah, they're like, they're so sexy.
Right. But everyone's sexy is different, and so I don't know.
And then they see us, and they're like, are we sexy Sonia? Are we not?
Yeah, and I do apologize that we now.
No, if we are not kind of what you imagine.
Yes, and we've ruined it for you. We will do the Men in Black thing at the end of the show.
You will forget what we look like and everything.
So you will absolutely forget our appearance.
But she gets going on stage, and of course, she does Harry Potter. So this is where I really related with her. Again, for a little confession, I've never seen or read. Oh, silence. The Harry Potter books. Yeah, movies, books.
You've never seen or read.
Never seen or read.
Well, and that's kind of her too.
That's kind of my thing. Because like Miriam, I'm not really into like sci-fi or fantasy.
Yeah.
Which she says as well.
Well, this is a thing, and I do feel like the lesbian community, there's like a sharp rift.
It's a realism. We love a realism.
Well, obviously there's like a lot of extremely nerdy lesbians who love sci-fi. I mean, your girlfriend.
Like my girlfriend who's so anime. Yeah.
But I think then there's like another half of the community that's quite into the tangible,
Right, the realism.
Something to hold on to.
I mean, she meets her partner of 54 years at a documentary screening about war, which is like, where else would you meet your partner of 54 years but not at a like extremely serious documentary,
Okay, we do. Should we just talk about?
Let's get into Miriam and Heather. So Miriam's out. Okay, she's out and about. She's tugged off a few, and she says, "You know what?
More than a few." I mean, I love I love the way that she describes oral sex as just kind of a means to an end. Like when she's in Cambridge, she sees this guy like roll up in a car, and she's like,
"Oh,
do you want to come back to my flat, and I'll just toss you off?"
No, and she goes and she wants more voiceover work, and she's like, "Okay, fine, I'll suck you off." And then she's like, "Actually, didn't get any more jobs from that."
She's like, but I thought it was worth a shot. But then that's like, well, now you really know, because you don't want to live your life in regret. Like, what if I'd sucked him off?
I mean,
and I could have gotten more work.
And again, personally, I've never sucked a man off, but it's like I find myself in conversations with men where I'm like, how does this end? How does this end? I'm like,
where's the exit? Yes.
Backing out, and I'm maybe I should.
Yes.
Yeah.
Open up that tiny lesbian mouth.
Yeah.
Get a dick in that.
I can't. My dentist, they tried to stop it. It didn't work. Okay, so.
Teeth are bad enough as it is.
Miriam's
kind of
friend.
Banging around in there. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, they took out a few more teeth. Miriam's friend says, "Do you want to come to this super serious screening? My friend is going to come. She's gay, but don't tell her she's gay," which feels very.
It was the 60s.
Okay, so this is a different.
Okay, wait. A sidebar, just to tangent a little bit. So she's always been like, back then we called it queer.
Queer.
And she's been so we were all queer, we weren't gay, because the term gay hadn't been invented yet. And it's I do feel like we've gone on this journey from queer to
now
gay.
We're back
and
to
now
queer.
We're back to queer. Because queer used to mean
freak.
weird.
Yeah, weird.
And
freaks.
gay used to mean happy. So if you said gay, people would just be like, yeah, he's gay, he's happy. And then at some point, gay people started being
queer. But then I feel like some older people are against queer because they're like, oh, that was so mean. Language is crazy.
Language is absolutely mad.
And you learn that through books.
Right. And we study books.
Yeah, we study books
to know
and
ourselves.
language. Okay, so maybe let's act out Miriam and Heather's meeting.
Okay, so I do think Miriam is the top.
Miriam's definitely the top.
She's the 4'10" top.
Miriam does admit that
she is a little bit
short, butch,
fisting
tall
from
femme.
below. Even through a trap door, almost.
Well, and I feel like now that I've been in England all of 2 days, I do see that, kind of houses are small, rooms are small. I feel like it's a small bed, she can fit in there.
It's a bit of a cramped.
Yes, it's a cramped city, not like a...
do. I mean, look at us here in this room. You know what I mean? Wouldn't see this in America. No. We all need our cup holders. You know what I mean?
Our big culture. They're not making love in a huge Chevy SUV. You know what I mean?
Which is how we make love.
It's just that's the only place I have sex is in an SUV. And I would say not only is Heather the taller femme, but she says that Heather's chronically fatigued.
And again, so lesbian
Which is
to have
pretty
someone
lesbian
with,
to me. It's just
you know,
so
who
like,
is chronically
sorry,
ill.
my wife is very tired constantly for no reason at all. Sorry, like, I mean, my girlfriend sleeps a lot.
You know, she is straight up admitting, like, she got sick once and then that was sort of it.
That's
she was
it.
just sick forever.
She's
after
gone
that.
down for her nap in the garden. You kind of pet her, and then she comes out for a documentary or two and goes back to bed.
So when they meet, so they're in this, so they go to like see a movie, and then she.
Oh, sorry, that's amazing. She goes, we get in a VW bug, and I get in the front because I'm fat.
Fattest one in the front. We've all been there. We know what that's like. You know. I always have to sit in the middle. Yeah, that's also a burden. Sorry.
And she gets in the front,
hard.
and she's like, so I just got in the front, and I started talking about farting and cocks.
It sounds like she's telling her like stories of all her famous blowjobs to
Which
basically
also feels
anyone
like
who'll listen.
us getting on the tube at 8 a.m. yesterday, realizing we're the only ones speaking, being so loud Americans, and like screaming about people.
We were boorish Americans
Boorish.
on the subway, and I did. Sorry, the tube, and I really, I felt quite self-conscious.
Yeah, and
yet
we
I
kind of
was also,
realized like no one was
everyone's
talking.
like angrily like flipping through their Guardian. And I was like, sorry, we're literally America.
Yeah.
And like you invented us, so you have to deal with it.
Sorry,
We're
eat
back.
your daughters, okay?
Okay, so they're in the car, she's the fattest, she's in the front.
You get the picture.
They go to this documentary, and then
Miriam is also again being like so the top. She just stares at her for the whole
That was
movie.
so insane. She
She's
was
like, Heather found it weird, and it's like, well, that is weird.
I'm like, I'm Heather, I'm this kind of
And imagine
nervous closeted
this-
femme in like 1964.
Imagine you're at an indie movie screening, and this
This
face
woman is
just
staring at you.
this much is true.
And I'm just like adjusting my skirt.
Hour and a half passes,
Like she never looks at the screen, and it's just.
and I'm just like, what do you think of the film?
Oh, it was quite good. Have to go to me chap's house.
Okay, day passes, and she's like obsessed, and she's like, please invite your friend over for lunch. Shoos out her other friend, and then starts, if you will.
So I'm Heather in this situation.
They've kicked out the other friend.
And we're in like a small flat, probably in Tottenham or Clapham or something.
And first I start smelling your hair. Heather, what do you use to shampoo? Did you get that at Tesco?
Oh, it's just the local Marks and Spencer blend.
You seem very tense. Have you been doing a lot of gardening and baking lately?
Yes, I was
yes.
just doing my weekly scones.
Oh my God, what do you put in those scones? You must be kneading hard.
No, not too much kneading, just the normal amount of kneading.
Look, Heather, I know you're gay. I know you're queer. I'm queer too, and I think we should have a rump of it in my small bed in my Clapham flat. What do you say we take to a bed for a week, then buy a house in Tuscany together?
Well, I suppose ultimately I'm a lesbian, so I'll say yes to that. Jolly good.
And it was settled.
And it was settled, and they dated for the next
54 years.
As all good lesbian relationships.
As all good lesbians do, but she did cheat on her for
With
with
a landlady.
not only a landlady with a PhD, because then all of a sudden she says she won't sleep with someone who doesn't have a PhD. Pretty huge dick.
I thought, in my experience, I have slept with a lot of men with PhDs.
And small
Small little PhDs.
small little
And they are pretty huge dicks. And I'm not just saying they're dicks, I'm just saying like they're kind of obnoxious. And no offense to any PhDs in the room, but like you know who you are. Like they do have this air about them where they're like, well, I went to school for 14 years. So I'm just gonna kind of pontificate at you. And I'm just like, get over yourself, but also I'm obsessed with you because you're toxic.
right.
That's unfortunate.
Show me the degrees. Show me the degrees.
Yeah. And so she was obsessed with this toxic
landlady. I mean, who wouldn't be?
Yeah.
Biggest turn on landlords. That feels so British to me, to be like...
She loves landlords because in the beginning she's talking all about like her mother and how her mother like knew all the local landlords.
But then she becomes a landlord and all of her tenants wipe their bum with newspaper. And they fill up the septic. And she's like, well, that's enough for me of being a landlady. And she's like, I'm done with that. But then she gets so... Okay, so Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi, they have a little... I would say fetish where they buy homes every single 6 months and renovate them.
Yeah.
And her and Heather do
well, a
that
home
too.
or for Portia a prison, but you know what's the difference? What's the difference?
So I guess in the way Miriam's the Ellen and Portia's the Heather, you never see Heather, and she's like, Heather's already mad that I'm writing about her in this book, but like I told her I had to.
Okay, here's the thing though, like their relationship is so weird.
She says she sees
they don't live together. They live in different countries.
They see each other 8 times a year, but they own like a villa in Tuscany together and like a seaside home in like Gloucestershire.
And there's part of it that makes me sad this way because she does reference. She's like very like she's obviously very honest, which is fucking cool. Like she's really open, but like she talks about how like she feels bad about herself sometimes, and then she's just like, and I have my body issues, and sometimes I look at my face and I'm like, what an amazing face, and I wish it was connected to a different body. But then she'll be like, but you have to take the good with the bad, and it's like this beautiful like journey of self-acceptance. But then I also feel like maybe she just kind of like she met Heather and was just like, well, this is it. I can never get anything better, so I'm going to stick with her forever, even though Heather sounds like a little bit of a wet blanket and is like not trying to hang out with her.
Say it! No, I know!
No, and she's just being at their like random house in Tuscany and being like, sorry, like Heather, like she's writing for 6 months, I can't talk to you, Miriam. And Miriam's like, but I'm such a fun, bold woman. And like,
no, I know, and when she has her landlady affair, she's like, it was the worst 6 months of my life, but I feel like she just didn't get over maybe that period of being sad, and like trying something new, possibly. So she's like, let me keep on buying like houses to renovate with my wife I see 8 times a year.
No, and then they have to have like, I think because there's the Tuscany
I feel like married
Australia
people
house.
love nothing more than just being like, ugh, the renovation.
No, true, and I think like
it's hell. It's bloody hell.
I've never met a married person who isn't just like
thriving off being mad.
2 weeks after marriage, it's just like, well, the kitchen.
So the granite, of course, was 3 months late. And we wanted the forest lime tile, but of course they only had porcelain tile, and that's too much money. And Josh and his job, blah blah blah.
And marriage is about cultivating the domestic, and you have to like spend your time like creating this space in which your relationship can apparently thrive. And so like, but I do feel like with Miriam and Heather,
and then she's 80 writing this book, and now she's like, maybe Heather and I should live together.
No, that I was like,
you're 80.
I was like, you're 80.
You're 80.
You're 80. Like, and you're saying maybe we should move in? Bitch.
Like, let's go. Can I read a passage? This is before her and her Heather together.
I thought you'd never ask.
Okay. And so I feel like this is a little bit her, some of the rejection that happened to her before, maybe why she really glommed onto Heather. So she was with this woman, and then this woman had an affair. I went up and hammered on the door. I know you're both in there, and if you don't let me in, I will make a shocking row, and you will be discovered.
It's a row.
Oh, a row. And again, it's my second day here, okay? I'm learning and I'm listening. They knew it wasn't an idle threat. Anne opened the door, and there was Marion lying in Anne's bed. I was incandescent with rage and jealousy. I jumped on the bed and slapped and punched them both. Don't hurt her, Anne begged. That maddened me further, and I deliberately stamped hard on Marion's reading glasses.
Toxic Butch.
Toxic Butch. Breaking glasses?
Breaking the glasses? I mean, this is violent behavior.
If someone broke these lens crafters, I would be pissed.
I know, but the lenses are quite expensive.
Because I'm basically blind. So
right.
the lenses were
like $400.
400 quid alone. Yeah.
If your wife came in, well, but it's not. It's like there's some random girl that she's been having an affair with for like a few weeks while working in Nottingham on some plays.
Yeah, it's classic theater affairs.
Yeah.
When my frenzy was spent, I left and went straight back to Marion's room and scrawled on the mirror, lesbian cunt. In red red lipstick.
I mean, that is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
I mean, only an actress would. You know what I mean? So, like, I wish I had that dramatics in me. You know,
To write
scroll
in lipstick
lesbian
on the
cunt
mirror.
on the mirror.
Is there anything more satisfying?
Oh, it's yummy.
Lesbian.
Cunt. After breaking glasses.
I know. I mean, it's also
I mean,
funny that
you
she
have-
said lesbian cunt because it's
It's
like,
kind of
we're
like,
all
well,
lesbians here.
Bisexual cunt. She's like solo, poly, pansexual
Right.
cunt.
No, that's what I'm writing today with my boyfriend. Pan cunt. Pan bitch. Okay, wait. Can we talk about Harry Potter for a second?
Let's talk about Harry Potter.
So what I love about this book is she is just kind of being like low-key, very resentful of her
annoyed
Harry
at it.
Potter
Yeah.
success. Because it is so funny because it's like, I know you haven't seen the movies or just like read like the most widely
And
read
even
book
like
in
she
history, but
makes
like,
jokes like this. She's like, I know you're all Gryffindors or whatever, but like
no, I know. She's
like,
being like, you're all fucking losers. You like have a Hufflepuff bumper
and like whether
sticker.
you're like in your Hufflepuff PJs, but like, look, and I know it pays my bills, but like I want to be known for the stage.
And it's like, but how weird would that be? Because it's like I will just to like fill you in.
Okay, on the culture.
She's not a major character at all.
Okay.
Like it's a pretty minor character. Not even one of the like Maggie Smith has like a pretty like big side character. She's just like a minor side character.
Well, and I asked you, we're getting on the plane. We have our big 7-hour flight, and I see all the Harry Potter movies. So I was like, perfect. I'll like watch Miriam's big role. And I was like, Steven, which one should I watch? And you're like, honestly, she's not even really in it.
She's like, it's giving one scene, babe.
So I watched like a random Meg Ryan movie.
And so
instead.
like, but now for her entire life, 99% of the people come up to her are just like,
ah, that's so
like they just know her from this one role. She's like, cool.
Cool, and she's like, oh no, and she's like, and J.K. Rowling was very nice to me, but like, I think she thinks it's kind of tacky to be.
No, well, because she's literally like such a like,
Well, then
BAFTA-winning actress of the stage.
And she goes to like Disney to visit, and she's just like, it's disgusting over there. She's like, this. I mean, can you imagine that? Writing lesbian cunt on a mirror. Huh? She goes to Disney, she hates it. She's just like, there's like a fake Eiffel Tower, and then they have fake food, and she's like.
Okay, she goes, I'm proud to have been a character, if not a particularly important character, in an iconic series that will mean generations of children will know who I am. I am grateful for that. The only strange thing for me is being fixed as a certain character at a certain age, despite all the hundreds of other things I've done.
All the million plays. I mean, she's much more proud of, I will say, the film Babe than she is Harry Potter. And they flew her to Australia to meet the sheepdog that she was the voice of. His name is like Winslow or something. And she's like, she meets the dog, and then the director's like, oh no, like we actually want you to like, you're sounding too proper, like we want you to sound a different way. And she's like, well, I met the dog, and I think he like really does have this like specific type of Scottish accent, but sure, I guess you're the director, fine.
Okay, wait, the part where she gets fingered by that cop.
Oh, and she goes, he thought I hated it, little did he know.
Look, it's the lady cop who fingers her.
Yes.
And she says, all my Christmases came at once.
Celebrity Book Club.
The segment BAFTAs. Now, what does she eat?
What does she wear?
How does she live?
All right, what does she eat? Well,
Okay,
you know, a bit.
hold on. I have her favorite snack in my pocket.
What? Did you pull a knife out of your pocket?
This is how she snacks.
All right, Lily loves to surprise me. That's how we keep it interesting after all these years.
It's just peel an onion. And, yeah. She loves to grab.
All right. Everybody wants to kiss Lily later tonight. She'll be by the bathroom.
You wonder why she's only been with Heather for 54 years.
She really just eats raw
She
onions?
literally just eats raw onions. She's like, oh, and it maybe made things a little bit weird in the makeup trailer, but,
You know, onion.
it's not that bad.
Onion is great for your immune system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I already
the onion
feel
lobby calls it
cleansed.
nature's ninja.
People talk about
familiar.
juicing, but I think I'm gonna start with the half onion a
I mean,
day.
it looks quite juicy.
No,
I will refrain from trying just for the moment. I have a thing later to go to.
Totally. Yeah, no, but it was super juicy, super nummy. So she does that.
I guess I'm picturing her so, like, not to be so, like, racist against British people, but, like, I do feel like you guys are always...
Beans and roasts and...
And, like, it's always a salmon cream pie. It's always just, like, there's one element that's wrong. It's just, like, I love all those things, but is it that... that combination correct?
Yeah,
You
she
know what
talks a lot about how she, she can't stop eating. I think she has hungry eyes.
Yes.
As do I.
Yes, she is hungry, yeah.
But then I was surprised. I mean, in a way, this is a healthy snack, ?
Well, all in moderation, once you have 6 onions, you know what I mean? Is it so healthy anymore?
It's keto, right? Yeah. So she's doing that. She hates drugs. I mean, I think she, again, very lesbian. I feel like she has...
Not a drinker, very lesbian.
Yeah, I feel like she has, like, maybe a wine, but she's not tossing a wine.
Yes.
A wine and an onion.
Yeah. Which sounds like the thinnest girl diet.
Right.
Just be like wine and onions. But I think it's wine and onions and then the spinach pie.
And she
then,
does
like,
a roast
salmon
and a
cream
roast
croquette.
chicken with salmon cream on top of the roast chicken.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
How does she live? I feel like she's renovating 6 cottages and they're all a mess.
Well, there's one,
she has her Tuscany.
She has her Australia. She has her Cotswolds. She has her, like, Coxwoggle.
Grimmershams. She has her flat.
Yeah. And I agree, like, it's papers, it's books.
Tons of books.
It's books on papers.
I feel like
chairs on books.
I think she's, like, getting rugs, but they're not laid out.
Yeah, there's so many rolled up rugs in the corner, and then behind that there's like a ladder to get to a loft where there's more rugs.
This is kind of a how does she live and how does she eat, if you know what I mean. She says she does not bring electronics into the bed, if you know what I'm saying. No
sex toys.
No sex toys.
I was gonna say there's definitely like iPad chargers.
No, it's tons of iPad chargers.
Like, let's not mince words here.
No, I think it's really small TV, hospital style, in the corner that she's like turning on ITV,
there's
BBC4.
like 4 hospital TVs in the house in each home, and they're all just like high up in the
But
corner.
yeah, Heather actually called her vanilla. I think it's no strap.
No, yeah.
No
well,
vibrator.
she is like from the 1600s.
No, but-
so
and then-
like she is absolutely 100
In
years
her
old.
PhD affair, a woman started, slapping her. She was like, "What are you doing?"
Yes, the affair woman was like, "Don't you want to hit me?" And she was like, "What?" I have no reference for this.
She was like, "I'm just a little Scot. Like, I don't have any chains."
Well, and this is what comes back to her being like a vanilla top in this way.
Classic toxic vanilla top.
She's kind of like jeans on top.
Stone. You think she's a little stone? No, I think she gets quite nude.
So, okay,
yeah.
she's fully nude.
I think she's fully
Actually,
nude.
because jeans
breasts
on
a
top
wag.
is more.
That's more chains.
Dildo. It's
yeah, more dildo.
toy. Yeah.
I think she's nude, and it's just kind of 3-hour session.
Yes.
Yes.
She's 3 hours classic nude sex.
Documentary on the hospital TV.
Documentary on hospital
what I
TV,
mean?
and we're fisting, and we're four fingers,
And we're
that's about
baking,
it.
and we're renovating. And
Yeah, it's just like classic,
Yeah.
absolutely classic.
well, she's
style.
very Michigan Women's Festival, which
Yes.
she goes to and actually hates because she doesn't camp, which I'm with her, by the way. No camp. I'm a
She's
non-camping
frizzy,
lesbian.
Because, and I guess here comes the question: is she Buddha?
Yes.
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 Yes, right?
Not at all the houses.
Okay, there's so much dissension
Yeah.
amongst the audience right now.
Okay.
I mean,
Shout out. Why do we think she's Buddha?
okay, well that's kind of it's a longer explanation.
Okay,
I think they can all say it in
I thought
unison.
someone was brave enough to say.
I think she's Buddha because she's so like.
She's funky, funky therapist.
Funky therapist. She literally
at this.
defines funky
I mean-
therapist. The hair.
Look at
the hair. That is Buddha hair.
Like that's just British. No. No, it's the necklace. It's the necklace. This is what I'm saying.
Look at the necklace. The necklace is Buddha. It's a big
It's
statement
Buddha.
necklace
No,
with
no.
chunky
Look,
jade on it.
Camilla's in pearls. This is something my mom would
But
wear.
literally, this is like
Yeah.
this is not Buddha.
Buddha.
Not Buddha. Buddha.
Yeah, funky. I mean,
You guys are gonna fight me on this. You're gonna take me to court. You're gonna take me to Parliament.
Every British mom looks like this.
Okay, but Camilla doesn't look like
yeah,
this.
explain that.
Yeah, is she not a British mum?
She's not a mom.
Oh wait, she's never had kids?
Okay, but here's it.
She has. All right. And Charles still wants to get in there.
Okay, my mom, who's from New Cambridge, I guess. Yeah,
We need to start calling
New Cambridge. I just feel like she's funkier than Camilla and like funkier than Dame Maggie Smith, who's not Buddha.
Yeah, Dame Maggie Smith is not Buddha. Excuse you. You think Maggie Smith is Kama Sutra?
Oh.
Miriam is Kama Sutra.
I actually don't think Miriam's Kama
Again,
Sutra.
like I think you'll understand.
I
Like
don't-
she was freaked out by the concept of sex toys.
Yes, no, I
Oh,
feel like
she's
she
doing
has.
intellectual Kama Sutra.
She has
She's
the
just
book.
like the ideas of sexual.
She's reading it and she's like, well, that's not for me. I couldn't stretch that way. But I hope my niece can. You know? I would love for my niece to
No,
stretch.
she has great plans for her niece's vagina, and may it be flexible and enterable and wild. Because she talks about how
wild
she's
and
like
adventurous.
Heather and I like. He's like, my favorite thing about Heather and I is we like lie in bed for 8 hours and talk.
Oh yeah, and stare at the ceiling and talk, or like.
And you're like, uh-huh.
Well, I think she means like we're 80 now. Like, this is why she needs some more electronics in the bedroom. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I know. I think
You know?
she thinks that like Heather's so old school, but it's like maybe if you brought some motorized something into the bedroom, maybe Heather would be a little bit more excited and she would move in with you.
Right. Okay, and she would leave like her PhD like office.
Anyway, it's not too late, Miriam. Get a rabbit.
Okay, we need to take her shopping. Miriam, are you
We
here?
gotta take her to the blister outlets and get her a
Yes,
discount
I know.
vibrator.
The Babeland blister sex outlets.
To keep Heather happy. All right, I give this.
I give this book, honestly, 4.5 small hospital TVs in a cottage out of 4.5 scones. I mean, it's just so much fun, and I will be completely honest, I didn't read every word in this book.
No, Lily! Lily! What are you
It's
talking about?
It's an intimate room. I want to share.
Okay, I love you being just as honest as Miriam. in
Yeah.
her diaries.
And you're being just as not honest as Leonardo DiCaprio on the set of Romeo and Juliet.
All right, I may have skipped over a few chapters. Well, it's like theater. It's like
Theater,
you're in
it's
a
like-
play. Okay, cool.
She's
Congrats.
listening, she's like, in 1968, blah, blah,
It
blah.
is a little bit just like her being like, it's not just Harry Potter. It's like, no.
No, we know.
Babe, we
Oh
know.
my God, wait,
We know.
who are you in the book? Well,
Okay.
you're the gay
Well,
who
I'm the
doesn't
gay who
come
doesn't
over.
come over. When she's like being attacked by a mad woman, because I'm just like, wait, what time is it?
No,
Where are
I'm
you?
calling you and you're like, phones first, it just goes straight to voicemail. I'm like, I'm being attacked. And then like, I text you and you respond, you're just like, fab, like you're being attacked.
I'm like, wait, that
That's
sounds
so
funny.
chic.
Let's talk about it tomorrow.
Like hilarious, you're like
Drinks.
VIP lounge, drinks, you being attacked. You know, I am a little bit Miriam in the fact that like I haven't seen Harry Potter.
You're a non-Jewish lesbian who's
I'm a
never
non-seen Harry Potter. So yeah, that's basically it.
You're
But
pretty Miriam.
yeah, but also maybe I'm just like one of the radio men in 1968 who was like, read this for Mr. Clorox or something like that.
And then she tries to blow you, and you're like, sorry, that's not
Sorry,
going to work.
the position has been filled.
All right, well, that sort of wraps it up, I
That
bet.
wraps it up for us, basically.
All right, listen, you guys
It's been a
have been so
safe night.
wonderful. You
Yes,
guys have been so
you are
safe.
the best.
Thank you so
Thank you so much. Celebrity Book Club is presented by Prologue Projects. The show is produced by Benjamin Frisch, with editorial support from Leon Nafok, Andrew Parsons, Arlena Revelo, and Madeline Kaplan. Our production manager is Percia Verlin. Original theme song by Stephen Phillips Horst. Artwork by Teddy Blanks at Chips NY. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CBC The Pod. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Leave us a review and don't forget to tell your friends, well, about us. And don't forget to go to patreon.com for access to the VIP Lounge, our exclusive bonus podcast.